Welcome back to Trailer Trash Flips. It is Thursday afternoon. It's about 3 p.m. and I really got to hurry up and try to get these orders pulled and packed so I can get them to the post office before they close at 5. I've got 7 orders going out today for a total of $124.50. So all things considered, my sales are still going pretty strong from what they were a few weeks ago. It has been suggested that I possibly put things in purposely at the end of my videos just to make someone watch the whole video, and that is 100% not what happens. But I was thinking about it because the buyer that wanted the partial refund, it happened right at the tail end of the last video. So I just want to be clear, I don't do that. I really just make the videos and things fall where they may. But I will tell you what I did to resolve the situation, and I do appreciate all the comments and suggestions on how everyone else would handle it. I did offer the buyer a $20 partial refund. Now, was that the best move? I don't know. To me, it's kind of like just throwing money at a problem to make it go away. So next, let me move on to going pull my orders and show you what sold. In the 012 bin, I sold 2 bottles of Vital Vitamins Brain Booster. And these sold for $17.90 plus shipping. In the H13 bin, I sold a book, The Textbook of Neonatal Resuscitation, and this sold for $30.95 plus shipping. In the L3 bin, I sold a pair of shoes. They are some LSU Tiger Nikes, and these sold for $14.95 plus shipping. In the 014 bin, I sold 3 of these door camera mounts, and these sold for $26.85 plus shipping. In the E1 bin, I sold 2 packs of Auric vacuum cleaner bags, and these sold for $8.95 plus shipping. In the 05 bin, I sold a DSLR camera plate for a Fuji camera, and this sold for $14.95 plus shipping. And the last item was in the ugly cabinet, and it's a bottle of Himalayan organic bitter melon, and these sold for $9.95 plus shipping. So everything going out today, with the exception of the shoes, came from, you guessed it, the bin store. And if you had guessed all the items were between 50 cents and $1 each, you would be right again. The only thing that did not come from the bin store are these shoes. These came from Goodwill. Bet you haven't heard me say that much because I haven't sourced Goodwill in a very long time. But I bought these. They were really cheap. You know, they were probably like $3.99 or $4.99. And I've had these a very long time. For the most part, they're in pretty good shape. There is some wear. You know, the typical spots right here in the back where they get some little holes. I think this one's good. This one has a small hole, but they're still in very good usable shape. And these things have just sat and sat and sat, and I didn't think I would ever sell them. Finally, they sold for $15, so I'm not really making much on them, but it's another one of these items that have been sitting so long that I'm just glad that it's getting out of here. I'm actually a little surprised that my sales are still fairly strong because I have not been doing hardly any listing. Lately, I just haven't had the time. So I think tonight I'm going to sit for at least a few hours and do some marathon listing and get some of the better items that I've already got pulled and ready to go listed. It is Monday afternoon. It's about 2:30. I just got in from work and I am running way behind. I think I'm going to be kind of struggling to get my orders pulled, packed, and to the post office before 5 when they close. I ended up with 13 orders. I actually have 14, but one of them, the buyer hasn't paid yet from an offer I sent out. I thought eBay was fixing this, but apparently that hasn't been done, at least on my account yet. So anyway, I have 13 orders going out for a total of $193.48. And those were all mostly the weekend. Maybe 1 or 2 came in Friday, I can't remember, but most of them came in over the weekend. And I don't think I had a sale all day today yet. So not really complaining. I'm just saying most of these orders are from the weekend. I did go to some estate sales Sunday. I thought about going to some garage sales Friday morning because we had quite a few. Unfortunately, I had to work Friday morning. And I pull a trailer for my day work. And if there's a community sale or the house is in a subdivision, it's not that big a deal. But a lot of the garage sales are at houses where you have to really park either in the driveway or in the yard. And that's a real nightmare pulling a trailer. So I decided that those were going to be out. Saturday, I ended up doing just some work in my eBay room. I ended up organizing my shelf that has poly mailers, bubble mailers, boxes, and things like that. Because a lot of times I get these boxes and I'll just kind of throw them to the side, and then I'm digging through piles of boxes for the right one that I need. So I spent a lot of time Saturday organizing my eBay room. Sunday, I ended up going to 6 estate sales, and there were more than that. I just didn't have the time to get to them before they closed. And I found a fair amount of inventory, more than I usually find. So after I pull my orders, I'll show you the things that I picked up from those. Before I get to that, I do want to address a very interesting comment that I got on one of my videos. I would never sell to a reseller because all they do is try to rip you off. I've seen other resellers get comments like this, and I guess I just find them kind of amusing, because anything that you buy, unless you buy direct from a manufacturer, which most things you don't, you're buying from a reseller. Every store out there is a reseller. Even restaurants are resellers. So people who say they wouldn't sell to a reseller are all buying just about everything they have from a reseller. So you wouldn't sell to a reseller because, and I quote, all they try to do is rip you off. Well, this comment was in reference to the video I put up of me going to several estate sales. And as far as I can remember, I didn't negotiate on anything at any of those sales. I don't remember everything that I bought, but I know the first estate sale, I bought 2 bats, and I probably should have tried to negotiate. And I've dealt with that estate sale company a good bit, and they probably would have negotiated. I don't even know why I didn't. And thinking back to, I know I bought some cookbooks, some plush, I can't remember what else, but I don't think I even tried to negotiate. I literally paid the price that they were asking. So I'm not sure how I'm trying to rip anyone off whenever I just paid the asking price. Now, with that said, I do negotiate very often. Like on those Estee Lauder makeup bags. Yes, I did negotiate on that. And we came to an agreement that we were both happy with. So there's nothing wrong with negotiation. And when me or anyone else comes away from a sale, if I'm happy with the amount I paid, and the seller is happy with the amount they sold it for, I'm not really sure how that equals anyone getting ripped off. I know people personally, my dad included, who, when he wants rid of something, he will just give it to you, even if it has value. If you've watched some of my videos over the last 9 months or so, I've got quite a few things that he just gave me. And you could say, well, you're his son, so he gives you stuff. But it's not just me. He will give anybody anything if he just wants rid of it, and he doesn't even want any money. So in the middle of me filming this, I had a work call, and during that work call, I had another sale. So I think in the last video was the second time that that's happened recently, that I was filming a video and got a sale. So with that, it brings my order total up to 14 items and $212.43. So with that said, I've got to go get these orders pulled so I can get them packed up and get them to the post office today. In the 06 bin, I have 3 alarm sensors, and they sold for $38.85 plus shipping. In the M1 bin, I sold this book, publication manual, and it sold for $18.95 plus shipping. Also in the M1 bin is one of these IPC International Plumbing Code books, and it sold for $30.95 plus shipping. In M5, I sold a 4-pack of barbell clamps, and these sold for $12.95 plus shipping. In the F7 bin, I sold a book, the 12 Steps, 12 Traditions, and 12 Concepts of Debtors Anonymous. And this sold for $16.16 with free shipping. In the E4 bin, I sold an Ultimate Chopper food processor replacement lid. And this sold for $20.66 plus shipping. In H10, I sold a dash insert for some kind of Freightliner trucks. And this sold for $11.66 plus shipping. In the O2 bin, I sold a bike handlebar bag. And this sold for $7.95 plus shipping. And believe it or not, during me pulling these orders, I got 2 more sales. So in the H10 bin, there is a Zoom bike dropped seat post. And this sold for $14.95 plus shipping. On my haul shelf, I sold this 2-pack of Zap It Bug and Mosquito Zapper rackets. And this sold for $9.95 plus shipping. And out of my ugly cabinet, which I needed 2 hands to grab this, it's a Gate Check travel bag. And it sold for $8.95 plus shipping. In my eBay room, in the G bin, I sold a blender base. And this sold for $18.95 plus shipping. In the S bin, I sold a bike seat. Let me see if I can get that down. And this sold for $4.50 plus shipping. Watch out, Moose. Watch out. In the Q bin, I sold some Saint prayer cards. And these sold for $5.95 plus shipping. I sold a book in the X bin, which maybe I should just rename this the Napoleon bin. All right, I think this is it. Inside MicroStation Connect Edition. And this sold for $7 plus shipping. And right below that, in the A1 bin, I sold a 3-pack of refrigerator filters. And these sold for $7.95 plus shipping. So here's everything going out today, except for this stack of stuff here. It's just stuff that I need to deal with that was in my eBay room, like these tapes I need to get listed. So anyway, most of these items are bin store items. A few of them aren't. The prayer cards, these would have been 50 cents or $1 at the bin store. The blender base, I showed that in a video not long ago. I picked it up from an estate sale for, I think it had $3 on it, so I think I paid like $1.50 for it. The lid, or the replacement lid for the Ultimate Chopper, it's one that I've parted out, and I think I paid like $2.50 for that thing. I've already sold the blade, so I'm selling the lid now, and I still have the base also. So that was definitely a lot of profit in parting that little thing out. These filters, I actually had a ton of these back in the day. I picked these up from the bin store for 50 cents per pack. So I've got $1.50 into these. And I had them listed higher about 1.5 years ago, and I was just selling them right and left, and all of a sudden the sales kind of dropped off. So anyway, these didn't sell for much, but I only have $1.50 in those, and again, those are from the bin store. This bicycle seat, it's kind of like an open box. I don't think it was used, but I could tell that it had been installed. And actually, that came from a bin store in Mississippi that my dad went to. He went one day and he was looking for items for me to sell, and he picked that up, and I think he paid $1 for that. This manual was probably 50 cents or $1. I know it was not any more than that. It's something that I pulled out of my death pile to list, I think last week. So it came from the bin store. It was really cheap. Another one of these IPC plumbing books, 50 cents or $1 from the bin store. This replacement trim panel for Freightliner trucks, that was 50 cents at the bin store. The bicycle bag was, I think that was $1 at the bin store. The book, I've had it for quite some time, probably 50 cents. And the Gate Check travel bag was either 50 cents or $1 at the bin store. This Zoom bike post was either, again, 50 cents or $1 at the bin store. this 2-pack of Bug Zapper rackets. These came from Ollie's. I bought quite a few of these over a year ago, and they've been really slow sellers. And I want to say I paid like $5 for each 2-pack. So not really making a ton on these, at selling for what, $10 I think. These alarm sensors came from an estate sale. I bought these all for $1 each, and I've already sold a few of them, so these are super good profit. And finally is this book, which it's been sitting for a good while, so it was probably 50 cents, and if not, it was $1 from the bin store. So in addition to the one extra sale that I got, that I told you about, I got the other two. Well, I told you about those two while I was pulling my orders. That brought the total items going out today to 16, and it brought my total sales up to $236.33. And I think there was only one item that had free shipping. As a part-time seller, I'm happy with that. Obviously, I would like to sell as much as possible, but coming off of the terrible sales that I had a few weeks ago, I'm really good with selling this amount. I do need to get my butt in gear and get more listing done. And it's not just that I'm a lazy slacker, which maybe an argument could be made that I am, but I haven't been able to replace all the items that have been selling lately with new listings because I've just been busy with my other work. It's picked up along with eBay, so a lot of days I spend the majority of my day working, and I don't have a lot of time to devote to eBay amongst all the other things that I have to do. And those of you who have full-time jobs, you probably understand completely. But I do need to get some more listing done, and unfortunately I will not probably have much time tonight to do it because I have to work again tonight, and I don't know about tomorrow yet. But I do need to get more listings up, not because I'm looking for some magical arbitrary number of listings to have, but the more listings I have, the more items potentially will sell. So here's the first batch of everything that I picked up Sunday at the 6 estate sales. And usually around here, most of the estate sales are 50% off on Sunday. Occasionally there may be one that's like 40% off, but most of them are 50. So whatever sticker you see on here, I paid 50% of that, or maybe a little bit less on, well, at least one of the items. So all these items right here came from one estate sale, and this estate sale company is the favorite one that I deal with. The lady that runs it is very reasonable on her prices, and she is completely willing to work with you to get things moving. So the first item I picked up was this Magnolite Country Collection pot, skillet, whatever, and it's definitely well used. And this one is a model 4508, and I'm not even going to try to remember what the comps on this or a lot of this stuff was because I don't remember. But this had a sticker of $80 on it, so it would have been 40, and I knew that I really was going to be struggling to try to make any money at 40. So I asked her if she would take an offer on it. She said, shoot me a number. I offered her 20, and she said sold. So I picked up that. I also picked up this medal, which is a Military Order of the World Wars medal, and I didn't really find anything on this particular one. I did find a similar medal to this, but it was slightly different. I think I paid $2 for this, and it also has these other little pins on here, and I really don't know if this is the type of ribbon that goes with it or not, but I thought for $2 I would go ahead and pick it up and just try to do a little more research on it. I also picked up this American Tourister train case. And this was, well, it wasn't marked at all, but it ended up being $5. It's in okay shape. It's not perfect. It's got this little case in it. Next was this Auric cordless steam iron. I did test it while I was at the estate sale, and it started heating up right away, and I paid $5 for this. Next was this Anchor Hocking Fire King dish, and see, it was marked 8, so I paid $4 for that. I picked up a couple cookbooks. I have no idea what cookbook this is, but as I've mentioned before, I tend to collect cookbooks a good bit, so these were only $1 a piece, so I really couldn't go wrong with the cookbooks. And I also picked up this Trinity Episcopal Church in Baton Rouge cookbook, and I flipped through it and it looked pretty good. I picked up a salad shooter with a whole bag of accessories. I did test this and it works, and I paid $4 for that. I got a Wilton Cookie Pro. I ended up paying $5 for this. And I got a couple of these pineapple, what are these called? This pineapple dish. Anyway, I guess they're new. One of them has a sticker on it, the other one doesn't. These were marked 4, so I paid $2 a piece for these, and the comps look pretty decent on those. From the next estate sale, I picked up almost everything for myself because there just wasn't a lot there that I found for resale. I got this Pocket Monkey multi-tool that goes in your wallet, and it was only $2. And I did check comps on this, and it's probably not even worth listing, so I think I'm going to keep that for myself. I found this cookbook holder, and I think I paid $4 for this. Oh, I did get this cookbook for resale. How much were the cookbooks? I think they were $2 there. So I paid $2 for this one. I am going to sell this one. I picked up this one. It's for myself because this is one that I've seen it a good bit, but I don't have it. And then I also found this Presto Shine On electric shoe polisher kit. It looks like all the pieces are here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this or list it yet. Sold comps were really not that high. I tested it out and it did work fine. So I thought this might be useful in cleaning up some items before I list them. But again, I don't know if I'm going to keep this or list it just yet. At the next estate sale I went to, I picked up this Unisonic adding machine, plugged it in, it worked. It didn't have anything marked on it as far as price. So when I asked about it, she said it was marked 10, so I only had to pay 5 for this. I also picked up this Texas Instrument calculator, which apparently you can put a little roll of paper or something in here and have it print. I've never seen one of these before, but at only 50 cents, I was definitely going to pick that up, and it does work because I checked it. The adding machine paper, I ended up paying $2.50 for this. And oddly enough, the comps on this were kind of strong just on their own. I was getting it to put with the adding machine, but I'm going to have to look at it a little further. I may list this separately. And I found this, the Magnolia Mound Plantation Kitchen book. And it's not really a cookbook. It's kind of more of a, I don't know. It does have some recipes in it. I've never seen this book before. There were no comps on it, but it's pretty unique. It's really interesting if you flip through it. So this may end up doing pretty well. And I also got this NASCAR license plate frame and I don't know, what do you call this little front license plate deal. And they wanted 16 for it originally. So it would have been $8. I offered them 5 and they took it. I did find a comp for the plates, and I think it was somewhere around $7 or $8. I did not find one for the frame. So I thought this may do okay selling the frame and the plate together. At the next estate sale, I picked up all cookbooks except for this converter that lets you take cassette tapes and run the audio into a computer. And it was marked 5, so I paid $2.50 for that. As for all of the cookbooks, I know a few of these are pretty decent cookbooks, like this one. I think this one is pretty good. But I didn't comp any of them because the cookbooks were originally marked $8. And then I got there kind of late Sunday and I saw the 8 had been marked through and they had put a 6, and then the 6 had been marked through and they had a 4. So I thought, since it was 50% off, that I would only have to pay $2 for these cookbooks. Well, they said no, the $4 was already the 50% off. So I didn't go put any of them back because I am a cookbook junkie. And I know just selling a couple of these cookbooks will more than pay for the whole lot. I know a couple of these are pretty decent cookbooks. But I did get these, and this little bundle here, I only paid $1 for it because it was one of the items outside, and I don't know what else back here. I don't really care about that, but I wanted this little book here, which Dave Treen was a Louisiana governor, I don't know, a long time ago. And I've seen this cookbook before, but it was more than 25 cents like I paid Sunday for it. And I thought it was kind of interesting, so I did want it, and I couldn't pass it up for only $1. I don't know how much the value is going to be diminished because of the writing on these cookbooks. And, you know, like I said before, a lot of times I just keep the cookbooks, so that doesn't bother me at all. But I don't know to a potential buyer. Like for me, if I was buying a cookbook that I wanted and it had writing on it, that does not matter to me one bit. But, you know, everybody doesn't necessarily think the same way that I do. And at the next estate sale, guess what I picked up again? More cookbooks. Not all cookbooks, but mostly cookbooks. And look, if you were to look in my store right now, you wouldn't see very many cookbooks listed, because typically I take them, I look through them, see if I want to keep them. I let my dad look through them, see if he wants to keep them. And then after all of that, whatever ones that he doesn't want or he already has or I don't want or already have, those are the ones that are going to be listed for sale. And I do have a huge pile of cookbooks that I do need to get listed. And especially after this weekend's buy, I'm gonna really need to get these things listed. So I picked up all these cookbooks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, maybe 9. This isn't exactly a cookbook. So 9 cookbooks at this estate sale. The cookbooks were $2 a piece. I also picked up this vintage Cub Scouts canteen. It's in pretty good shape, and they wanted 8 for it, so I only had to pay 4. And comps looked decent on that. And I also picked up, let me move these cookbooks out the way. I picked up this buffet server, and they wanted 24 originally, so I had to pay 12. And I was really on the fence about this thing here, because first of all, shipping is going to be a pain, and it's going to be heavy. So, you know, I kind of walked away from it 2 different times before I decided, nah, I'm going to go ahead and get it. But it's made by Corningware, and it's definitely been used, but it's in pretty good shape. And I know I can make a few dollars on it. I just know the shipping is going to be kind of a pain on this. So I'm not wishing I wouldn't have bought it. I'm just not overly thrilled about when the time comes that I need to ship this. And from the last estate sale, I picked up, yep, cookbooks, because they were only $1 each. And this is probably going to be the only one that I list. I have this one for myself. I actually already own that cookbook, but it's in really bad shape. So I'm just going to replace that. And I bought this Smoke and Spice, which I didn't comp this, so I don't think I'm going to sell it, but I did buy this one for myself. And the last item, not only from the estate sale, but from Sunday, was this Boston Scientific, it's some kind of pain management thing. And this stuff is always tricky because, you know, this may be a prescription item, and I'm not sure. But if anything, I can sell the parts on this. I did comp this, and I think this is the charging part for this, maybe. But anyway, I know that this sells enough to probably get my money back plus more. So I do need to look into this a little further and make sure that I can sell it. There was a price on it somewhere. No, I think they take, yeah, they must take their tags off there. I had to pay $25 for this. And not knowing if I could just sell this as a complete kit, that was really hard for me to drop that kind of money. But they did have it originally listed for $50, and I ended up paying $25 for it. Out of everything that I picked up, you know, taking out a few things that I bought for myself, I don't think there's anything necessarily spectacular here. I think there are a few things that are going to do okay, but nothing really shines unless I can sell this as a complete unit. I think that would be good. But again, I don't know if I can. So that's going to do it for this video. I appreciate everyone who's been watching my videos and leaving comments. And if you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. As always, I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.